Schedule a free design consultation, and the more you buy, the more you'll save on blinds, shades, shutters, and more from Budget Blinds. Visit budgetblinds.com today.
Sticking to the hockey now, I mean, it's been a tough few months for the Lloydminster Bobcats.
Yeah, their last little while, especially in January, not too happy with them. Now, despite a firm stronghold on second place in the North Division for months, well, that lead is they're slowly losing ground in the standings, and they now actually risk getting bumped down. Now, last night, they were on the road in Whitecourt taking on the Wolverines. They've already played them twice in the month of January, lost both those games, so of course, can they be able to break that? No, this one would need extra time as the Wolverines potted the winner in overtime for the 3-2 win. Now, Evan Hugh opened the scoring in the second period, but 2 goals less than 2 minutes apart from the Wolverines gave them the lead. Alex Pernitzky's goal sent the Cats to overtime, but former Bonnyville Pontiac Luke Mahura got the OT winner. The Cats will be back in action at home this Saturday and Sunday against the King and Warren Eagles and Drayton Valley Thunder, respectively. Now, Lloydminster will look to end its 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, last night there was a big tilt in the AJ that impacted the Bobcats. The Bonnyville Pontiacs were on the road in Fort McMurray. The Yaks were trying to better their playoff positioning with just a handful of games to go, while the Barons are just a few points back of the Cats. Now, Pontiacs strike early, just 24 seconds in. That's after puck drop. Kyler Haynes' shot goes wide, but perfect rebound to Evan Warmington, who is Johnny on the spot. That's his 12th on the year. It is 1-0 after 20. Now in the second period, Brinson Pashnik all alone in front, but Zachary Fortin shuts the door. Yaks would go up a pair. Chad Hurtabay unassisted from behind the net. He banks it off the centering pass. Now we're going to fast forward to the third. Game tied at 2 before a shot goes off of Braden Doucette. Now Troy Tremblay makes the initial stop, but Austin Holmes will bang home the rebound. Barons take their first lead of the game, 3-2. Now, Bonnyville, though, they're just going to respond to $130 later. Once again, it's a man all alone on the doorstep. Alden Dupuis one-times it, and we are all tied up at 1. Now, midway mark of the third, Mitch Fritz checks Will Tomczyk from behind. Barron's not happy about that. A scrum ensues. Fritz would get 2 for boarding. Now, in total, 38 penalty minutes were handed out right here, including 2 misconducts. Now, Tomczyk would be okay. This game needed extra time, 3-3 heading into the shootout. This was a long one, but check out the save by Zach Fortin.
To the right hash marks, Dangles forehand. Oh my gosh, what a right skate save by Zach Fortin. He was down flat on his face and kicked his right leg up and deflected that away with his skate in the save of the decade.
Brady Becky getting absolutely robbed by Fortin. Almost looking like Martin Brodeur there. Now, this shootout went 11 rounds. Ryan Piche needed to score, but he couldn't. Oil Barons beat the Pontiacs 4-3 in the shootout. Now, Mark Drohan got the winner for the Barons. The Yaks are back at home Friday against the King and Warren Eagles. Now, as for the Barons, they are now 2 points behind Lloydminster for second in the North, while the Ponts are 5 points back with a game in hand. We're going to turn our attention to the pebbled ice now. There is nothing like a bond between friends turned teammates. Edmonton's Jamie King and Lloydminster's Warren Hassell are living proof. Now this season, the pair reunited for a shot at provincial glory. Moses Wilde reports.
We just figured it out. It's been 24 years.
Jamie King and Warren Hassell aren't strangers when it comes to teaming up at Bonspiels, even when King was a junior.
Warren was a great influence on us from a coaching standpoint and just helping us out in juniors. So, yeah, and he's just got a great personality. He gets along with everybody and a tremendous curler.
It wasn't long after we played a last chance spiel together because our acquaintances, and it's it just started to gel from there.
The two were successful together, going to 2 provincial finals, but the Briar was just out of reach. Years later, the two would eventually split up, both going their separate ways, moving to different cities, playing in different curling clubs. But this year, King had a few spots available on his team, and another shot at the provincial finals was still on his mind, so he decided to give a call to an old friend.
Warren's a little bit older, but, you know, he's in tremendous shape, so for a guy playing front end at 44 or whatever he is, he can sweep with anybody right now.
It worked out for the best. It's been an enjoyable run with Jamie for sure.
The return has worked out for both sides so far this season. Now in their 40s, the two have a greater appreciation for one another, on and off the pebbled ice.
We just, like hanging around and get together and, Warren being in Lloyd and us being in Edmonton is a little bit of distance, but we get together on a regular basis anyways.
You have a good relationship. I think what you are able to do on the ice is always better. When you get along with the guys you curl with and you know what they're going to do, it always works good.
Moses Wildu, Newcap Sports.
16 high school basketball teams in Alberta and Saskatchewan are in the border city over the next couple of days for a major tournament. Now, the 25th annual Hugh Morrell Border Classic tips off tomorrow, and for the Lloydminster Barons, they are looking to defend their title on home court.
That first game is crucial because we're coming into this tournament as the defending champs. So if we win that first game, that really sets the tone for the rest of the tournament.
The Barons boys team won last year, their first title in 7 years.
The goal going in is to defend the championship, and again, playing in front of the home crowd, friends and family, we don't get that opportunity too often, so the guys are very excited about the opportunity.
As for the Baron girls, they are in a drought. They haven't won since 2001, but they're hoping for a different storyline this year.
We've been working really hard on defense, and we've definitely set out to challenge ourselves quite a bit, and we've come a really long way since last year, so I think we have a really good chance at winning it.
We're sticking to a disciplined practice routine. We're really preparing for whatever kind of competition. If they have good rebounders, good shooters, we're really working on boxing out, closing out. Really, our philosophy is defense and teamwork first, so we get that down, I think we'll be okay in the tournament.
And on the women's side, the Holy Rosary Raiders will be looking for the three-peat as they have won it twice in a row. The tournament kicks off tomorrow with the girl Barons hosting the Raiders at 11:15 and the Baron boys taking on St. Paul tomorrow at 1:15. Now, both games are at Lloyd Comp. The girls then will play all their games at ES Laird. And we should have highlights for you tomorrow night. All right, watching young athletes start to become passionate about a sport can be a very rewarding experience for parents and coaches, but it's even more gratifying for the athlete when they get to perform at home in front of family and friends. Now, as Claire Hanna reports, some young Lloydminster volleyball players are looking forward to one of their first tournaments ever this weekend at the Service Sports Center.
Volleyball isn't a sport that's easy to take up when you're young. It involves a lot of hand-eye coordination, agility, speed, and focus. So for these U-14 Rustler Club girls, they've been eagerly awaiting the chance to play in one of their first club tournaments ever.
I'm a little nervous, but I'm super excited. We've been working on a lot of serve receive. We've been working on passing to the target, so passing to a setter, and we've been working on a lot of hitting.
We're a little nervous and excited. A little bit of both because this is our very first one and we're not sure about our rotations and stuff.
20 teams coming. You know, they're used to going to a lot of junior high tournaments that might have 8, 10, 12 teams, but this is a big event in the service center, so it's going to be a bit of an eye-opener for them.
One of the major challenges this weekend poses is a new serve receive formation. Last year, they were using a serve receive called the 4-2, where the front row setter only had 2 hitting options. This year, they've graduated to a 6-2, where the back row setter moves to the front row, allowing for an extra hitting option.
A little different because we have a back row setter and we're used to a front row setter, because we're learning how to back set too.
Something that's new to them, but we talked to them at the beginning of the year and said, we're not going to do the same thing that you do with your junior high schools. You know, you're a little more experienced, you're a little older, so you got to learn some new things.
There are only 3 Sask volleyball sanctioned tournaments for the U-14s this year, so it adds to the thrill of it that not only the first, but one of the only tournaments is at home in Lloydminster.
Even more pumped and excited because it's like our home tournament, so it's just going to dominate. Hopefully.
It's huge. We're not staying in hotels, so for the girls staying at home, they're getting a bit of rest.
And they might be 13 years old, but they already have game superstitions.
I put my tear pad on my right leg, not my left, and it's like has a big rip in it. It's for that one for my right leg.
Okay. The tournament gets underway at 9 a.m. on Saturday and runs through Sunday. Claire Hanna, Newcap Sports.
So much sports this weekend, and that's heaven pretty much for me. All right, that's your look at sports. We will have more news and weather after the break. Stay tuned.